Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Welcome to yet another one of these vlogs of mine. Today, we're gonna head out into the garage and see if we can figure out WTF is going on with this freaking air compressor. So, basically, here is my air compressor. It's a Mastercraft 20 gallon, and I'm getting nothing when I flick the switch. Sorry about the low light, I had it in super steady mode, but I'm getting nothing when I flick the switch, and I don't know why. I really don't. So I'm wondering if there was some sort of I got it in there pretty good. I might have to move shit so I can get it out. Because I did notice on some of the Hamble Kosfelds and other brands like that, that there is a thermal overload switch somewhere on these things that you can hit. But I got so much junk in the way here. And I'm going to have to do some clearing out of things. That's the auger that Rex gave me for ice fishing, but I got to put new blades on it. I don't really need that one though, because I have my other one, and it's way better. Brush for my washing. I'm just going to put that over here for now. Oh, this has seen better days, and nothing I can't clean. I'm probably going to have to pull this out to get an idea as to what's behind it. Actually, you know what? Before I do anything, I should test out the outlet. Okay, the hair blower is plugged in and we're getting nothing. So the problem definitely isn't the compressor. The problem could be just the breaker. Oh my God. All right, that works now. Do you turn on? Okay, this still doesn't work. So we know the outlet's good. Just this thing doesn't want to fire up. Now, I can't read that. I'm wondering if there's a fuse or something in there that blew. Because I don't feel any. So I'm not sure what would have popped the breaker. Alright, I'm going to try something different here. You know the outlet's good. This thing won't fire up. We figured out one of the problems. Now, I'm not sure why this thing, oh man, I gotta do some major organizing or something. Some major throwing stuff in the garbage or something. Take this thing off the wall. All right, I need two hands because everything's about to fall here. So we'll switch to the tripod action. All right, so I disconnected the old white block. What I want to try and do is plug directly into the power outlet. And we still got nothing. And it's not because we're already pressured out. The compressor only has 60 pounds in it. It should theoretically be kicking over, but it's not. So I figured there would be some sort of a switch on here, like because obviously the breaker blew. I should probably disconnect that. Well, let's just try the top outlet because we know that one works, but not today. Okay, disconnect the power to that thing. Need a screwdriver, something small that I can pry that open with. So I'm wondering if it's something simple like a fuse broke or blew. Then my other question is where the hell am I going to find a fuse for this thing? Okay, why make it front? See, it's got pressure, but not enough to like do things. All right, I got to move more shit out of here. I wonder if I'm going to have to take the top of this thing off. See, the power comes in here, then comes out. Let me show you this. So the power comes in here from over here, boom, 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 into here, goes through whatever's in here, comes out here, and then goes to the compressor itself, the electrical compressor. I can't see. Oh, there's a screw there. Okay. All right, let me get a Phillips head screwdriver and take that cap off and then see if there's a fuse in there. This can't be that complex. The only real complex part is finding a Phillips head screwdriver small enough to get in there and do what I need to do. Okay, I'm going to run in the house and grab the Ryobi tool bit set because this Mastercraft one is kind of shite. She don't have the bits I need. I shall return. I went in the house to grab these, the Ryobi kit that I bought a while ago, only to realize that they were out here the whole time because I'm awesome like that. Once again, guys, sorry for the angle. Without a camera operator, life gets interesting. Gotta do what you gotta do to get shit did, right? At least I have somewhat good audio. It'd be even awesomer if I had side cutters. I wonder if these will work. Oh, hey, they're in there. How the frig do you get these out like that? Okay, cool. Damn, son. It'd be amazing if I had more light back here. I don't have any sort of form of light in this place, do I? Oh, yes, I do. Holy. Pull up, Adam. There's a reason why you bought this Ryobi kit. Forgot that I have this. So I can somehow dangle it. Oh, it's a flathead. No wonder why it wasn't working. I might be able to do that with this. So if I can see inside of here, maybe I can get an idea as to what it is unplugged, right? Yeah, okay. All right. This lid is off. Now, let me show you what I'm working with. So, it looks like it goes ground. I'm not seeing any fusible links anywhere in here. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything different than me, but I am not seeing a single fuse anywhere. What the hell is this? Oh, son of a bitch, eh? Kind of like having this thing in operation to help me fill up tires in the winter. Like worst case scenario, I can just grab the 2-pounder, drag it over here and hook it up to the hose, and use that in the meantime for any issues. It just takes a while for it to load up and such, but I should find out if this thing has a warranty. Mind you, it is pretty old, so it probably doesn't. Alright, well, I can't see anything under here that looks out of place. Everything looks to be hooked up. What the hell was that? Okay, I just pressed a button. There was that black recess piece right there. I just pressed that. Let's see what happens when I plug it in. And then it just cut out again. So if I bring... I don't understand what's going on. Every time I turn it off, it flicks that switch. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not. I just don't understand why that thing flicks. Like if I turn it back on right now, nothing happens. However, to turn it on, I just press that button. So you know what? I'm just going to leave this lid off of it like this for now. I don't know what the hell that button is. I tried to find a manual on this thing to see if there's some sort of an emergency cutoff, and there isn't a manual. Well, at least a maintenance manual or a breakdown manual. This stuff is cheap, right? Like it's expensive, but in a cheap way. Like if you consider real brands, like the stuff that you see in real shops versus this hobbyist 20-pound tank. Yeah, you get what you pay for pretty much. So, I don't know. Now it's somewhat working. But what's weird is if that's a button that you need to press to reset it, why the hell is this cover on it with no... See, it shows fuses. So it cuts in at 105 PSI and cuts at 135 PSI. Currently we are at 125. That's probably why it's cutting out. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what, see what happens. Leave it where it is and see what happens. But at least now in the winter I'll be able to pump up my tires. Like, yeah, I know these things are cheap, guys. I know. I remember when I first set it up and somebody laughed at it and said, what a piece of shit. But like, I'm not running air tools. Like I do have an air ratchet over here. I've shown this before. It works. I have an air brad nailer. It's down there in the cabinet. I don't really use air tools because like I got my wall of Ryobi. I got friggin' Ugga Dugga and Ugga Dugga's ugly sister. You know, I got the jigsaw, which I don't know if they make those in air. I got the reciprocating saw. No, that's not reciprocating. Is that reciprocating? I think it is. Circular saw. Like I use all battery power. I don't use air. So it's not really that big of a deal for me. It's not a deal breaker to have a shitty compressor. I literally use this for inflating tires and running my my paint booth, but now the paint booth is in the house, so this is just literally a tire inflation machine at this point. But no, I was chatting with my mechanic buddy about, like we were talking last night about stuff. He's on to a new project car for next year's racing, and I was like, hey, you do a lot of work on cars, which means you probably use air tools, and he said, yeah, he uses air tools, but lately he's been switching over to the Milwaukee electric tools, like the Ugga Dugga and all that, because he's just like, he says it's quieter, and the reason why it's quieter is because you don't have to listen to the air compressor go off, and he's got a great big tank. And I told him, I said, yeah, my Canadian Tire 20 pounder, like you flick the switch and there's nothing. He's like, is there power at the outlet? And I said, good question. I don't know. I'm gonna have to plug in like a cordless drill or something and see if it turns on. Well, we did it with the hair blower and there was nothing because the breaker blew. Every once in a while when I was sitting at my computer in the house during the day working from home, I'd have the window open to let some fresh air in. And I could hear a compressor going off, and I thought it was my neighbor cleaning his gutters. Turns out it was probably this thing kicking over. Because you know how they are. They leak a little bit. Even with nothing plugged into them, they will leak a little bit. Your seals aren't perfect. You got 100 and, what is it? It kicks on at 105 pounds. So you have at least 105 pounds of pressure in there. It's going to gradually find a hole and leak out. So he told me check the power first, and he goes, some of those have fuses, which is why I was trying to get into that box, which I finally got into after I realized it wasn't a Phillips head, it was a flathead, and there was just a piece of something on there making it look like a plus sign. And there was nothing in there, but then I saw that little recessed thing, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I pushed on it, it clicked, and it turned on. Because the third thing he said is, if it doesn't have fuses, it might have a breaker, and that button obviously was the breaker. So why is it nonstop tripping the breaker? I do not know. So there could be something else going on in here. But for the time being, working but broken is still working in my mind. And this is why people get mad at me. Because it's like, the problem's not solved, but there's a Band-Aid. And I'm willing to wear that Band-Aid until I need to change it, you know? Just got to get through this winter whenever it shows up. And then we'll be golden. But anyway, guys. So the old Mastercraft is back up and running. Anybody has one of these? And it's doing the exact same thing. Just use a screwdriver, you pry here. Back here there is a flathead screw, which if I could turn on my flash, there we go. There is a flathead screw in there. Oh, it is a Phillips too. Okay. You unscrew that, you give this a flick. This comes off and there's a button right here that you can press and it should turn it back on. So that should hopefully do it. For now. You know, sometimes I get nervous fixing things like this, but then I remember, like, if I can fix it, I can save myself money. I know so many people that are like, oh, just call a guy. Just get a guy in. Just have somebody else do it and pay them money. Aren't any of your friends good? Maybe they'll do it for free. Why would you want your friends to do it for free? Like, if they're going to use their skill that they've trained for, you got to compensate them. Not for free, you compensate them. Either skill exchange or cash, or if they want something else like beer or pizza or a gift card at Best Buy, whatever the case may be, you got to compensate them. You can't just use people for their skills and expect them to come running the next time you ask for a favor. It's not going to happen. But anyway, guys, the compressor works. I can keep my airs in my tires. No, I can keep my tires aired up in the winter as the climate changes from cold on some days and warm on others, because that's what I always noticed. Apparently you don't get that problem if you put nitrogen in your tires, but I don't really care. Going out there with a compressor hose and just topping them up, it only takes a couple seconds, and yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.